Hello, I am Dr. Sigarkanti. In this video, I am going to define a ring and types of rings. Definition of ring is a ring. Definition of ring is a non-empty set. A non-empty set are together with two binary operations. Two binary operations plus we call this as addition and dot. This is we call this as multiplication. Okay, together with two binary operations plus and dot is said to be a ring if some axioms are satisfied. First one, r comma plus is an abelian group. Okay, this is the first axiom. What do you mean by abelian group? So it is a group, it is a commutative group that is satisfying all 5 axioms. That is here. First one is closure law. Closure law with respect to addition. That is A comma B. For all A comma B belongs to R implies that A plus B also belongs to R. This is the first axiom. And second axiom is associative law. That is here. For all A, B, C belongs to R, A plus of B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. This must be satisfied. And third one, C, identity axiom. Identity axiom. So identity axiom is there exists an element we denote this by 0 here, and I will call this as 0 of the ring denoted by 0 in R such that A plus 0 equal to 0 plus A is equal to A. This is true for all A belongs to R. That is here 0 is the identity element with respect to addition, and we denote this by 0 and we call this as the 0 of the ring. And D, inverse with respect to addition. Inverse axiom. So that is here. For all A belongs to R, there exists an element denoted by, so we denote this element by minus A. We denote this by minus. This is the inverse of A with respect to addition, and we denote this by minus A such that A plus of minus A is equal to minus A plus A is equal to corresponding identity element, that is this is equal to 0. Okay, this is the inverse axiom with respect to addition. And finally, commutative law. That is here. Commutative law is for all A comma B belongs to R, A plus B must be equal to B plus A. So if all these 5 axioms are satisfied, then you say that it is an abelian group with respect to addition. This is the first axiom of the ring. R comma plus must be an abelian group. Second axiom of ring is number 2, associative law. This is with respect to multiplication. So that is here. What is this? For all A, B, C belongs to R, A dot of B dot C is equal to A dot B dot C must be satisfied. That is, this is the associative law with respect to multiplication. Sometimes just we write A into BC equal to AB into C without this dot. I understood that there is a dot. Okay, this is the second axiom. And third axiom is distributive laws. In that we have two distributive laws, left distributive law. So this is for all A, B, C belongs to R. Left distributive law is A dot of B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. This is known as the left distributive law. And one more distributive law must be satisfied, that is known as right distributive law. So it is A plus B dot C is equal to A dot C plus B dot C. This is known as the right distributive law. This is known as the left distributive law. So both the distributive laws must be satisfied. So that is here a non-empty set R together with two binary operations denoted by plus and dot. We call this as the addition and we call this as the multiplication. Is said to be a ring if the first condition is R comma plus must be an abelian group. So in the first axiom we are dealing with only addition, not the multiplication. Okay, this is the first axiom. And the second axiom is the associative law with respect to multiplication. So this consisting of only uh, uh, the multiplication dot. Okay, operation involved in this axiom is only dot. That is associative law with respect to multiplication. A into BC equal to AB into C must be satisfied. And the third one, it is a mixture of plus and dot. We combine these two operations in this third axiom. So here we have two laws. One is the left distributive law, and there is the right distributive law. That is for all A, B, C belongs to R. Left distributive law is A into B plus C equal to AB plus AC. And the right distributive law is A plus B into C is equal to A into C plus B into C. If these three axioms are satisfied, then we say that R is a ring with respect to plus and dot. And we denote this by notation is, we write like this, R comma, first we write the addition. Next we write the dot. That is your first operation is the addition. Second operation is the multiplication. Okay. And now if you consider an example, if I consider this example z comma plus comma dot, okay, this is the set of integers. Is this a ring? Yes, this is a ring. So just we verify. So here first one, closure law with respect to addition. See, if A and B are any two integers, then A plus B is also an integer. That is closure law is satisfied. And the second one, for all A, B, C belongs to Z, A plus of B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. That is associative law. Associative law satisfied. Associative law holds. And third one, is 0 belongs to Z? Yes, 0 belongs to Z is the identity with respect to addition. Okay, this acts as the because we have 0 plus A equal to A plus 0 is equal to A. This is true for all A belongs to Z. So 0 is the 0 of Z. And the fourth one, inverse. Inverse. For all A belongs to Z and Z is the set of integers. If A is a positive integer, then minus A is the negative integer. If A is the negative integer, minus A is the positive integer. That is for all A belongs to Z implies minus A also belongs to Z. And this is such that A plus of minus A equal to minus A plus A is equal to identity 0. So inverse of each element exists with respect to addition. And the last one, commutative law. Commutative law with respect to addition. So here commutative law. For all A and B belongs to Z. So A and B are integers. Then if A and B are integers, then we can write A plus B is equal to B plus A. Commutative law holds with respect to addition. So therefore, Z comma plus is an abelian group. Okay, so first condition is satisfied. And coming to the second one, associative with respect to multiplication. So that is associative law. Associative law. So for all A, B, C belong to Z. So that is A, B, C are three integers. If they are integers, then we can write A into B, C equal to A, B into C. So associative law is satisfied with respect to multiplication. And third one is distributive laws. Okay. That is for all A, B, C belong to Z. A, B, C are any three integers. Then we can write A into B plus C equal to AB plus AC and A plus B into C equal to AC plus BC. So both the distributive laws are satisfied. So that is Z comma plus is an abelian group. Associative law holds with respect to multiplication. Both distributive laws satisfied. Therefore, we can write Z comma plus comma dot is a ring. Okay. And similarly, we can prove that Q comma plus comma dot, that is set of all rational numbers with respect to addition and multiplication, is a ring. And similarly, we can prove that R comma plus comma dot, set of all real numbers, is a ring with respect to addition and multiplication. So these are some examples on rings. Next we go for some types of rings. Types of rings. So here in the definition of a ring, first axiom is R comma plus is an abelian group. Okay, plus is involved in first axiom. And the second axiom, it is the associative law with respect to multiplication. Only dot is involved in the second axiom. And the third axiom, both dot and plus, multiplication and addition are involved. These are the distributive laws. So this is the definition of a ring. So if r comma plus comma dot is a ring, then it need not be commutative with respect to multiplication. That is definition not involving a into b equal to b into a. Okay, it is not there in the definition. So that is here. A ring may be commutative, may not be commutative. And also the identity with respect to multiplication. Identity with respect to multiplication is not involved in the definition. Means a ring may be with identity with respect to multiplication or without identity with respect to multiplication. And also inverses. Suppose A is an element of a ring R, then it is not necessary that its inverse with respect to multiplication is there in R. That is, a ring may be with inverse elements or without inverse elements. And some elements may be having inverse with respect to multiplication. Some elements may not be having inverses with respect to multiplication. Now, if suppose commutative law holds with respect to multiplication in a ring R, then we say that it is a commutative ring. And if the identity with respect to multiplication is there in the ring, then we say that it is a ring with identity with respect to multiplication. And the identity with respect to multiplication, we denote this by 1, and we call this as the unity of the ring R. And suppose A is an element of a ring R, and if its inverse exists in R, then we say that that element A is invertible. Otherwise, it is not invertible. So, depending on these additional conditions, we define types of rings. Number 1, commutative ring. Commutative ring. That is a ring R comma plus comma dot is said to be commutative if commutative law satisfied in R. That is, A B equal to BA. This is true for all A B belongs to R. If the commutative law holds with respect to multiplication, then we say that the ring R is commutative. Next, ring with unity. Ring with unity. Ring with unity. That is here. If there exists identity element with respect to multiplication, denote this element by that is identity with respect to multiplication. Denote this element by 1. We denote this by 1 and call as unity of R. And then we say that R is a ring with unity. So then we say that R is a ring with unity. Okay. The identity element with respect to multiplication is denoted by 1, and we call this as unity. And if a ring has this 1 unity, then we say that it is a ring with unity. Next, invertible element. Invertible element. Invertible element. An element, say A belongs to R, is said to be invertible. Is said to be invertible if inverse of A with respect to multiplication. With respect to multiplication, and we denote this by like this, a power of minus 1. So inverse with respect to addition, we have denoted this by minus a, and inverse of a with respect to multiplication, if it exists, then we denote this by a to the power of minus 1, and we say that a is invertible. That is an element A belongs to R is said to be invertible if inverse of A with respect to multiplication exist in R. Okay. If its inverse exists, then we say that it is invertible. If the inverse of A does not exist, then we say that it is not invertible. Okay. Next we go for some other basic definitions. Zero divisors. Zero divisors. What are zero divisors? So here let me take let A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0 belongs to the ring R, belongs to a ring R if AB equal to 0, then we say that A and B are zero divisors. Usually if A is not equal to 0 and B is not equal to 0, then we get usually AB is not equal to 0. If suppose AB equal to 0, then we say that A and B are zero divisors. And we say that if this satisfied, and we say that R is with zero divisors. If such elements A and B exist such that A is not equal to 0, B is not equal to 0, but AB equal to 0, then we say that A and B are zero divisors. So A is known as the left zero divisor and B is known as the right zero divisor. Okay. And if A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0, for any A and B not equal to 0 implies AB is also not equal to 0. Okay. AB is also not equal to 0. This is for all A and B belongs to R. If we take any two non-zero elements, A and B belongs to R, and if we are getting AB is also not equal to 0, then we say that R is without zero divisors. R is without zero divisors. So what do you mean by zero divisor? A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0 implies that AB is equal to 0. What is without zero divisors? A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0 implies that AB is also not equal to 0. And the same, this can be written as AB equal to 0 implies that A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. So at least one is 0. Then we say that R is without 0 divisors. Without 0 divisors. That is here. This one, A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0 implies that AB is also not equal to 0 is similar to this. That is AB equal to 0 implies that A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. Suppose here if either A is not equal to 0 or B is not equal to 0, then we say that suppose we have this both are A is not equal to 0, B is not equal to 0. But if we have AB equal to 0, then we say that A and B are 0 divisors. So that is here, in order to show that it is without 0 divisors, what we need to prove is either we use this method, that take A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0, and try to show that AB is also not equal to 0. If we get this, then we say that it is without 0 divisors. Or the same can be proved by this also. Let me consider AB equal to 0. AB equal to 0. Then show that either A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. This also proves that ring R is without 0 divisors. Okay. Now here, by the definition of 0 divisors, given ring may be with 0 divisors, without 0 divisors. Okay. And suppose a ring R is without 0 divisors, and if it is a commutative ring, and if it is with unity, then we name that ring as integral domain. Okay, I'll go for another definition. Integral domain. Integral domain. So that is here a commutative ring with unity and without 0 divisors is called integral domain. Okay, so integral domain means it is nothing but a ring, but with it is a commutative ring. These are the additional conditions here. First of all, integral domain is a ring. Next, plus, that is, it is a commutative ring, plus one more property, that it is with unity. And next, one more property is it is without 0 divisors. That is a ring which is commutative, which is having unity, and which is without 0 divisors. We call it as an integral domain. Okay. Next, we define one more definition. It is a field. We define one more thing here, a field. So field is, we define like this, a commutative ring with unity in which every non-zero element is invertible is called a field. So that is, field is nothing but a ring. First of all, it is a ring, and it is a commutative ring, and it is with unity, and in addition to these two, every non-zero element is invertible. Suppose A is an element not equal to 0, then inverse of A exists. For all A not equal to 0 belongs to the ring. Then we say that it is a field. So what is the difference between field and integral domain? First of all, integral domain is a ring, field is also a ring. Second one, integral domain is a commutative ring, field is also commutative ring. This is a common property. And third one, integral domain is with unity and field is also with unity. This is also common. The only difference between integral domain and field is the field possesses one additional condition. It is every non-zero element is invertible. And in integral domain we have the additional property is it is without zero divisors. Integral domain is commutating with unity without zero divisors. Field is commutating with unity in which every non-zero element is invertible. This is the only difference between field and an integral domain. So these are the basic definitions of ring and the types of the rings. Okay, thank you. I'll stop here.